Okay, never mind.
Oh,
all right, George, I know you can't stay all evening.
How long's he been here?
Well, who wants me to stay all evening?
How long's he been here?
How long
Did he
has
just
been
get here
here
at 7, or was he been here before that?
No. He came on the air with us at 7:08.
All right. He hadn't been here long enough to leave yet.
And he's jumping on you for
and
not
he's retired. What's he got to go do?
I have
not retired, retarded.
Well, I've given him the benefit of the doubt.
Everyone has heard of the immortal poem, Casey at the Bat.
Mm-hmm.
It starts out, it looks
and
like...
I think you're trying to get me to do something that I'll make a mistake. Because I've got a few friends out there that would like me to make a mistake. And I will not tonight. So you go ahead.
Okay, fine. I'm not looking for a mistake. I've never heard this venture. I forget who told me this, Doug Donahue or somebody. I'm not saying it was Doug. I don't remember who. But everybody's heard the poem Casey at the Bat. It looked extremely rocky for the Mudville Nine that day, right? Well, somebody said that there's a kind of a sequel to that few people have ever heard of. And I was saying Dolan. It's what name?
It's Dorlan, D-O-R-L-A-N, apostrophe S, Dorlan's Home Walk.
The poem is called Dorlan's Home Walk. I hear it's an absolute marvelous whatever.
No, the reason I liked it a little better than I knew Casey at the Bat, and I've forgotten Casey now, but the reason I liked it, it had a little sequel at the end that if you listen to it, it sounds pretty good for everyday life and so forth, and might give somebody a lift or what have you. But anyway,
this is in your head. You haven't got this written down, right?
I never read. Well, it's all in my head. That's why I'm retarded.
Is that where Ben Letter came from?
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, it was the ninth last half. The score was tied. The hour was big with fate. For Neal had fanned and Kling had flied when Dorland towed the plate. And every rooter drew a breath and rose from where he sat, for weal or woe or life or death now hung on Dorland's bat. The pitcher scowled, the pitcher threw an in-shoot swift and queer, and Dorland waved his wagging tongue and smote that leathern sphere. He smote that ball with might and main, he drove it long and low, and firstward like a railway train, he sped to beat the throw. He reached first base with time to spare, the throw went high and wide. But what a tumult rent the air when safe, the umpire cried. The basemen left their bases clear to come and plead their case, and Dorland yawned and scratched his ear and strolled to second base. Though when the wild-eyed fielders ran to tear him limb from limb, or else to tell that erring man just what they thought of him. Safe, safe, the pitcher bawled. You're blind, and breathed a naughty word. And Dorland hitched his belt behind and ambled on toward third. And still he heard in dreamy bliss as down the line he came, the umpire growl, enough of this, he's safe, now play the game. All right, come, boys, the pitcher bawled. 2 out, now make it 3. When Dorland touched home plate and drawled, hey, score that run for me. What wrath was there, what bitter talk, what joy and wild acclaim. For Dorland's peaceful homeward walk had won that doubtful game. I saw the game was lost and won, so athletes great and small, if like mischance ye fain would shun, keep cool, don't kick, play ball.
Right.
All right, yay.
God, I remembered it all, too.
Didn't miss a word.
I hope Furlong heard that one.
Have you got a comeback for that yourself?
No, I'm not.
That's pretty tough to follow there, Jim.
577-1390 is the telephone number. If you want to call up and reminisce with Jim Rourk, and how can you reminisce with Warren Peper? You haven't been here that long.
Doesn't seem that short, though.
When did you get into the media? But can I tell the story?
What's that?
You know, about the time you came to apply for a job?
Sure.
I was working. This is funny. I was working at another radio station, and I don't guess maybe I better mention which one it was, except that it was located downtown on Market Street, and you had to walk upstairs to get to the office. So if you can figure...
And that, if that position ever comes open for poetry reading, then Norwig can take the job.
You got it. You got it. But I was working up there one day doing news and trying to sell. I mean, in those days at that station, you had to do just about everything if you wanted to even try to break even at making a buck. And Peper was still at Baptist College, I guess. And you were about to get out of school?
Yeah, it was in the spring of '74.
Yeah.
Graduation was upon me.
Imminent.
Yes.
And you were looking for gainful employment.
Or a job anywhere that I could.
Yeah, something like that. And you came up to see if we had anything available. Now, I wasn't in a hiring position.
Right.
At all. But you and I chatted. I remembered you well from your illustrious career at North Charleston High and then at Baptist College. And you came up to ask if there was something up there that you could do. And I remember thinking, boy, if you got any ambition, get the heck back down those stairs. And there was nothing at that station for you.
Well, the reason the guy didn't want to hire me is that I had no experience, number one.
Well, that made you equal with him.
And then number two, he was very convinced that once I did get any experience at all, that I would then leave.
You'd move on, right.
In point of fact, it's probably the best, it was best that I didn't get that job situation, because who knows what else would have happened otherwise.
Yeah, you might have stayed there a while. You might not have been in position to join the staff at 5. You joined in...
I started as a news reporter / photographer and did that for 3 years in the news department.
And you started in '74.
Right. I graduated over at Gilliard Auditorium on Sunday afternoon, gave the speech as president of the senior class, and reported for work the next morning at 9 o'clock at CSC television as a news reporter. It wasn't until '77 that I got into sports full-time and have been there ever since, doing early and late sports.
You took over from Jim Miller?
Yes.
The would-be pro baseball player.
Jim was a former minor leaguer who left from here to go to Columbus, Ohio.
The late lamented. Gentlemen, I was kind of hoping we could stretch the clock out, but we can't do it. We're out of time. I appreciate your being here. To say I appreciate it sounds terrible, because that's not really what I mean. It's been fun for me, and I like to think if it's fun for me, then it's fun for the listeners. Jim, having you here again, and George, and Pep, of course, you're over fairly often, but having you back is fun. Let's do it more than just every 55 years.
Well, I won't be around. But anyhow, thanks a lot, and again, congratulations to WCSC Incorporated.
Okay, thanks a lot. We'll be back tomorrow night at 6:05. Good night, everybody.
WCSC, Charleston.
Today, 1390 CSC Radio is celebrating 55 years of service to Charleston. Throughout today, we've heard numerous voices from the past reminisce and share their memories. To continue bringing you golden moments of CSC radio history, we now present 5 original radio dramas broadcast full length, just as they were heard on CSC Radio years ago.